I want to talk about one of the most important moments in recent cinema history. Perhaps you remember it. It went like this.
Don't you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch! I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!
In case you weren't spending hundreds of hours on the internet in the early aughts, this line from the 2006 summer blockbuster X-Men The Last Stand was cribbed straight from an amateur parody video.
I'm a Juggernaut, bitch!
You get a motherfucker, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Silly bitch, your weapons cannot harm me. Don't you know who the fuck I am? I'm the Juggernaut!
It inspired a wildly popular meme which, against all odds, traveled from the depths of the web to the big screen. X-Men's reference to internet culture was no mere comedic moment. It was the birth of an entirely new relationship between Hollywood and the internet. Welcome to this Wisecrack Edition on the memification of actors. And no spoilers ahead, I guess. But before we get started, I want to give a shout out to this video's sponsor, the new mobile game Raid Shadow Legends, out now on iOS and Android. Raid is an ambitious fantasy hero collector RPG, and as you can see, the graphics are really legit. It's got PvP battles, giant boss fights, a killer story, and hundreds of amazing looking heroes to collect. And the best part is, it's free. I've been playing it for upwards of 5 hours now, and I've yet to hit a paywall. There's some tournaments coming up with both in-game and real-life prizes, so download Raid right now by using the link in the description. Using our link will give you exclusive access to 50,000 silver immediately, plus a free epic champion as part of their new player program, courtesy of the development team. So see you there, and now, back to the show. This X-Men thing wasn't an isolated incident either. Just months earlier, the world's most prolific speaker of profanity, Samuel L. Jackson, saw his own fame eclipsed by a series of gifs when his new film Snakes on a Plane was announced. It quickly became an online memified sensation. Most notably, a couple of internet fans created an overdubbed R-rated audio trailer for the film inspired by Jackson's role in Pulp Fiction.
I did not ask for snakes on my plane!
Unable to ignore the internet's insatiable demand for good old-fashioned Samuel L. Jackson F-bombs, the film's producers scheduled reshoots to add new scenes that played up the ridiculousness, including the now famous line,
I have had it with these snakes on this plane!
Samuel L. Jackson's public persona was crucial to the internet frenzy. The incredibly salient mantra of the film's viral bubble exploited Jackson's firmly established on-screen image as the potty-mouthed badass.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, Say what one more goddamn time.
Then, to great humorous effect, it placed said badass into a delightfully absurd situation. The greatest reptilian invasion in the history of aviation. Fans were explicitly waiting to see how Samuel L. Jackson, the celebrity entity, would respond to the scenario. They were envisioning some kind of fabricated combination of the characters played by Jackson and the man himself. This moment represents what we're going to call the memification of actors. While X-Men's Juggernaut moment or Snakes on a Plane may seem like a bizarre blip on our collective cultural radar, it's much more than that, encapsulating a revolutionary breakdown in the separation between film and fan. And yet at the same time, it represents the next step in a process that's preoccupied Hollywood's efforts since its earliest days. While the memification of actors is new, the processes that lead up to it aren't. So how did we get to this moment, a time when sad Keanu can literally inspire the sad vengeance-seeking hero of John Wick, or when Ryan Gosling is known as the face of the Hey Girl meme to scores of people who have never seen his films? First, we have to understand something called serialization, but not in the narrative sense. So what is this kind of serialization? Most literally a franchise. Most metaphorically, according to media scholar P. David Marshall, you can compare it to a series of related products such as a car or an on-screen performance that are stylistically linked. Marshall argues that serialization fulfilled a need of early-day Hollywood producers. It helped them cement an individual movie star's persona into the public consciousness, thus setting them apart from the rest of the pack. In the early Hollywood star system of the 1920s, branding celebrities was an economic strategy, a way for studios to make their films stand out in a crowded market. It was quite literally product differentiation. In a sea of attractive movie stars, cultivating demand for your individual actors, like your resident cowboy or blonde bombshell, was like popularizing Diet Coke to the other studios' soda pop. And so a complex infrastructure of public relations professionals, star magazines, and studios grew in the pursuit of molding actors into name brands. Once a star became a household name, studios could then exploit said star's fame by making the exact same, generally shitty serialized movies over and over, using their resident good girl, Casanova, or vamp. When people got bored, actors could be cast against type and thus consciously evoke the very same audience expectations. For example, Schwarzenegger became a brand, so studios gave you Terminator, Commando, Predator, The Running Man, etc. Tired of that? Then they gave you Junior and Jingle All the Way, where our last action hero has to fight not with aliens, but with Sinbad for a toy. With this serialization of performances came what Marshall calls celebrity personage. Personage refers to a structure of familiarity for the audience, but also a structure of performance for the actor. In other words, a feedback loop of typecasting. Sometimes that familiarity becomes so encompassing that it literally supplants any sense of the actor as an autonomous being. When you picture classic stars like James Dean, you picture them exactly as they looked and behaved on screen, not their real selves. You could say the same for Samuel L. Jackson, who for all I know actually goes home and soothes his children to sleep with the calming refrain, "Go the f*** to sleep." Because branded stars equaled easy money, studios invested in them heavily, and Hollywood celebrity personage was mediated by the aforementioned PR reps, star magazines, agencies, and more. They worked in synergy to create and safeguard celebrity reputations. Back in these good old days, a celebrity name was enough to generate reliable box office returns, but that's all changed. Today, not even heavyweights like Tom Cruise or J-Law are totally safe bets. That's partially because celebrity identity no longer belongs exclusively to powerful movie executives. Why? Because the internet. It allows us to actively participate in creating the narrative of each celebrity, giving us, as scholar Paul McDonald writes, the opportunity for an interactive construction of star discourse that was not possible with previous channels of mass communication. That's changed our position in the food chain of media. According to Marshall, the audience member is now a hybrid of producer and user that is engaged in the media of consumption and production, or a prosumer, and this fact is redefining the dynamics of popular culture. Which brings us to memes. The internet meme is comparatively more egalitarian than most art forms. It's nearly effortless to make one. Anyone with an internet connection, the know-how, and a couple of minutes of free time can do it. And unlike literally everything else in the culture industry, they're typically not made to generate money. They're made for the lulz. Because memes operate somewhat outside the realm of economics, they can actually act as an authentic intervention in our consumption of culture. Particularly given the source material, memes can pull from literally anywhere since we have access to literally the entire history of American modern visual culture at our fingertips. As a result, we can use memes to evoke powerful shared moments of our collective cultural identity. And we are doing that literally every day. As a result, so much of our visual exposure to celebrities is happening via user-generated culture. This means a more level playing field. Back in the day, fandom meant passively reading canned stories in gossip magazines or joining a celebrity fan club. Today, the fan can actively shape the way they and their entire social networks view individual celebrities via dank memes. All hail the great prosumer. But now that we have the means to meme, what are we doing with it? When it comes to celebrities, three major things. First, some memes are reaffirming celebrity brands and making them even more powerful. Consider the sad Keanu meme. The meme was instantly comprehensible because it exaggerated pre-existing notions of Keanu as vulnerable, his life as tragic. It emerged and spread organically in June 2010 after paparazzi published the now famous photo. While the meme began with words superimposed on the image, photoshoppers got creative and suddenly sad Keanu was kicking it with everyone from Stalin to the Breakfast Club Brat Pack. At one point, sad Keanu was a more popular Google search than Oprah. Hollywood had a knee-jerk reaction to the blow-up, issuing takedown notices to sadkeanu.com, RIP. The sad man himself expressed annoyance about the meme's characterization of him.
I mean, do I wish that I didn't get my picture taken and while I was eating a sandwich on the streets of New York? Yeah.
But whether Keanu is or isn't sad, the widespread sharing of the image has the power to literally shape our conception of his personage. Because the image of him looking sad was serialized widely across the internet, the preconception of his sadness confirmed and solidified that personage. Until, inevitably, Hollywood found a way to capitalize on it with John Wick. The film and its titular role, which feels tailor-made for Keanu, casts him as a sad action hero, creating a sort of feedback loop between his memed self and the performances he gives. Sometimes memes can also recontextualize the meaning of a celebrity brand and tap into a larger, broader cultural sentiment. That process can be totally subconscious. So let's go back to Samuel L. Jackson, who, as previously discussed, saw his badass personage set the internet ablaze. Now, to be clear, the intertextual commentary about Samuel L. Jackson's unique brand of badassery is not unique to the internet. You can trace it back at least to the days of Chappelle's Show in 2004.
No, I can't stop yelling, cause that's how I talk. You ain't never seen my movies.
Since then, memes have reaffirmed and hyperbolized his persona, giving the commodified Samuel L. Jackson even more value via increased recognition and visibility. But at the same time, there's an underlying explanation for why Samuel L. Jackson and the particular movie Snakes on a Plane captured so much internet attention beyond Jackson's famous potty mouth.
Analogy goes the wrong way.
Consider the setting. A post-9/11 world in which Jackson, a beloved figure of strength, saves an airplane from attack, the perfect encapsulation of post-9/11 anxiety and our collective desire to feel safe. This performance helped solidify Jackson's badass rep, which then became a feedback loop in which Jackson was repeatedly cast to play the character of Samuel L. Jackson, the actor. Most recently, that's landed Jackson a 9-film deal with Marvel.
Mother.
Meme making isn't just a fantastic procrastination tool, it's the paradigm-shifting act of a modern prosumer. What's more, our ability to make memes, i.e. to actively participate in cultural production, inherently changes the way we view visual culture. In seeing movies and TV shows in part as source material for great memes, we're developing a critical distance from the media we consume. If you've ever made a meme, you've probably experienced that light bulb moment when you're watching a YouTube video and thought, man, that would look really dope on loop. In that moment, you were thinking less like a consumer, passively waiting for the next thing to happen on screen, and more like a prosumer, searching for your next source of inspiration in your day-to-day media consumption. So what does this mean for the future of Hollywood casting and celebrity persona? Well, a few things. First of all, it means that the cultural currents of internet fandom could become increasingly visible in popular entertainment, such as the potential Netflix heist movie announced in 2017 to be based on this classic 2014 meme of Rihanna and actress Lupita Nyong'o sitting together at a fashion show. Now, unfortunately, Danny DeVito won't be playing Detective Pikachu yet. It also means that actor identities will become, if anything, increasingly reliant on the internet masses. The rapid serialization unique to the medium of the meme means it will continue to have the power to create some of the key defining moments of popular celebrity and popular culture, sometimes overnight. And it will guarantee that Bill Murray will keep wishing you happy birthday for years to come. So what do you think? Are memes creating a new class of prosumers, or are they just good for the lulz and an upvote? Let us know what you think in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.